Good evening, boys and ghouls. You're listening to Where the Scary Things Are in collaboration with Zisi Emporium for B Movies and PromoteHorror.com. Please follow us on Twitter at Scary Things Pod and follow us on Facebook as well. Check out our website at www.wherethescarythingsare.com. I'm your host with the most, the one, the only MonsterMash Ken. And with me is my co-host, the Mistress of Darkness, the Queen of Fright, the Lady of the Night, Muse. Merry Christmas, lady. How are you?
Merry Christmas. You know, usually I'm kind of like a bah humbug from time to time, but I don't know. I know there's a lot of people that feel it's weird this year, but you know, I'm feeling it this year. I don't know. It's 2020 gets weirder because I'm usually always like the Scrooge bah humbug. Oh, it's overrated type, thing. I'm burned out on Christmas by the time it gets here. So I'm loving it this year, actually.
Have you bought your presents yet or what? You only have like 3 days, dude.
I think we should segue into Chris now.
Cut to Chris. This is live TV. Yes. Chris, the Grinch, the opposite of the Grinch, should I say? How are you, man?
Wonderful. Which should be no surprise. It is a Christmas season, and there is a lot to be thankful for, including this show, which as soon as people are here, they're going to realize why they should be thankful for it, because this is quite the talented quintet, including Dexter, we have here.
Yeah. He's all right. So on that note, our two favorite guys from PromoteHorror.com, HorrO and Dexter, the intern. How are you guys? I love the hats, man.
We are good. We are rocking our Mickey Santa hats, and sad that we can't make it to Disney World this year, part of the dumpster fire that is 2020. But we are ready for the award show because 2020 has given us a lot of horror that we love, and we're ready for it.
You know what? It's a good segue to what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm really excited to get into the show. It's the end of the year, and we wanted to do something really special for our listeners and viewers. We are so lucky to have received all these great films to review and watch and critique. This year, we've had over 30,000 listeners. That means about 83 listeners a day. You know, we're not huge or anything, but I take that as a win. It's like if I sold 83 copies of a magazine, somebody bought it a day. And that's pretty good to me. We're not in it for money or anything like that. We are honored to put this show on weekly. We do not ask for anything in return. We ask you to follow us and to share the show, but that's about it. We're never going to charge anybody. We're not going to put anything like that. This is pure fun. We take time out of our day to do this show every week because we love it and we prepare for it. We watch these movies and we just want to spread the horror as Promote Horror coins. Anyway, so we just love giving the effort, and we thank you to the listeners and the audience weekly and the support. We've met so many great personalities and fans online. We thank you so much for your continued support. Over the year, we've reviewed so many amazing horror films, and we're fortunate to speak to directors, producers, actors, writers, all of the above in the horror world. We wanted to give our audience a show this week that acknowledges these films with our very first Golden Goat Award show. We have compiled a list of different categories that we felt needed recognition in regards to the amazing films that were released this year. We tried to stick to some of the shows that we had on our show, some of the movies we had on our show, for 2020. I know HorrO watches a bunch of different movies. Dexter, you do too when you're not on your Game Boy. And then, all of us, in our spare time, we watch our own movies and whatnot, and Chris is reviewing movies left and right as well. So we're going to try to stick as best as we can to the films that we've had on our show. If not, we'll see where that goes. So without further ado, I just want to do an opening monologue. From memorable scenes like Dr. Frankenstein saying, "It's alive! It's alive!" to Pinhead saying, "Your soul," or "Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell." From the sounds of Freddy Krueger's screeching bladed glove along metal walls, or the pull string of the Leatherface's chainsaw, from the sounds of Jaws and this 2-note music, and or Jason's theme music, kill, kill, ma, ma. I don't know what the words are. Is it ch, ch, or is it kill, kill, ma, ma? I don't know. or is it the debonair of Ash Williams, or the bravery of Laurie Strode? The unforgettable scenes like Reagan throwing up all over Father Damien, or American Tourist turning into a werewolf in London. All these scenes, all these movies have brought us here to where we are today to create this podcast. This is where the scary things are. These movies are going to withstand the test of time. 2020, I felt, put out some really great movies. We were very fortunate to watch a lot of these movies. A lot of them we loved, we were gloating about. Some of them we just could not stop talking about. And I think it's a new wave. It's 2020, and we want to give the appreciation there. So let's get right into the Golden Goat Awards. I want to kick it off with our very first award ever for the Golden Goat. Two very special awards to start off with. Without our fans and listeners, we wouldn't be successful in a successful podcast or YouTube channel. Not that we're successful or anything, but the first Golden Goat goes to our biggest supporters of 2020, and that is John Grant and Alexis Egan. So those two, you guys are the very first to win this award. Thank you so much for your support continuously. We love you guys to death, especially this week in helping promoting this particular show. So keep it scary, my friends. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And with that said, Muse wanted to do a little, I guess, gift for you guys and put me through the Deathly 13. So I'm going to hand it on over to Muse, and I'll let HorrO, I guess, you can kind of narrate or control the conversation here, and I'll just sit back and see how well I do with this, because I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Now I know how it feels when we put these guests through it. I'm gonna drink my eggnog. I'm not drinking beer tonight. I'm gonna drink eggnog.
All right. Well, Ken, you know the rules. You got your life.
Go ahead, Muse.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. You said go ahead. Okay. I was like, oh crap, is my mic up? I usually turn it down. But yeah, you know the rules, you know the lifelines, you know the multiple choice. You could ask one of the guys here. I know there's a crowd out there in the YouTube chat. I'm sure they may be able to help as well. And then you could postpone the question if it's on the tip of your tongue. So, all right, we're just going to jump right in, and hopefully we'll see how Ken does here. All right. So here we go. All right. So I'm going to start out with a movie synopsis, and I'm going to ask you which movie I'm speaking of after I tell you what it's about. All right. So here we go. Muffy St. John invites a group of her classmates to spend the weekend at her remote island mansion. But the weekend takes a dark turn when someone begins killing the students in this 1986 film.
All right, wait. Say that again, because I was reading one of the comments on YouTube. I forgot that I'm not, I'm the one going through the gauntlet.
Get in the zone, man.
Sorry, bring it in.
All right. Muffy St. John invites a group of her classmates to spend the weekend at her remote island mansion. But the weekend takes a dark turn when someone begins killing the students in this 1986 film. I can give you a hint if you need help.
No, I have I have it on tip of my tongue. Oh shoot. No, I'm gonna postpone it because I think I know it, but I'm gonna. My hands are up here. Okay. I'm not.
Okay. All right. We'll postpone that one. I'll set that one aside. All right. Going on to question 2. All right. In Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. I think we've had this question before, so hopefully you remember. I'm pretty sure we've had it. In Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, how many people did Freddy Krueger kill? This is the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's 5. 4.
Instinct. I was like, he's gonna say something else because I've seen you looking up.
4.
It's 4. It is 4.
Wait a second. So it was Tina.
Right.
It was Johnny Depp.
Yep.
It was. Yeah, 4. Okay, the 4th.
Who was the 4th one?
Yeah, it was the boyfriend. It was Tina's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And the mom, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
4.
at
Yeah.
the end. Yep, you got it. All right. I think a lot of people forget about Nancy's mom there at the end.
Yeah. No, that I knew it was a trick. I was like, was there one in between there somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right, you got it. You nailed it. All right. Question 3. All right, I'm going to give you another movie synopsis, and I'm going to ask you what movie to tell me I'm speaking of. A skeptical insurance claims investigator searches for a missing horror writer, Sutter Kane, in this 1994 film, also directed by John Carpenter, actually.
Say the first part again. A missing.
A skeptical insurance claims investigator searches for a missing horror writer named Sutter Kane in this 1994 film.
What the fuck? Do I not know that? This is It's not. I don't know. Is it the rainbow or the serpent in the rainbow? It's not the serpent in the rainbow. That's not it.
Oh, it's Carpenter. Yeah, that's Wes Craven. I can give you. You still have the guys here. You have 2 lifelines. You got multiple choice. We could do that.
No, I'll take the hit. I'll take the hit.
It was In the Mouth of Madness.
Okay, I don't feel bad because I never seen it. I'm
Okay.
okay. There you go. Okay, I don't feel bad. I don't feel
You
bad.
got to see that. That's such a great.
Did you guys? Oh wait! Damn it! I did see this. It was Sam Neill. God damn
Yes.
it! All right.
I'm like, oh man, you got to see that.
That's
Definitely.
horror. Yeah, I saw that. Damn it! I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, you're doing good. All right. So I'm gonna kind of do something a little different. I've been doing some different types of questions here, and instead of just asking you straight out, who's the actor, who's the actress, what year did this take place, I'm going to go with a different type of question, and I'm going to ask you to tell me 5 horror franchises that have released at least 5 movies.
Oh, okay. Jaws. I'm sorry, not Jaws. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
Halloween.
Yep.
Friday the 13th.
Yep.
Paranormal Activity.
Yep. You're right. I think they've done 6 actually.
And Mission Impossible. No, that's not it. Oh, not horror movie, not horrible movie. I'm sorry. That's another one. There's 5 films, huh? Jeez.
Yep. There's one major franchise. I can't. I know Chris is holding up something. I can't see it because of the screen.
Yeah. I can't see it, Chris.
There's one you're.
Oh.
Underworld has 5?
Okay, I didn't know there was 5 of those.
I'll go with Chris. What was the other one? What were you thinking?
Hellraiser. Hellraiser.
Oh, shit. Hellraiser's like 10 Hellraisers. Oh, duh.
Right.
All right.
All
And
right.
Chris's other favorite, Resident Evil. There's like a million of them.
I got that one.
I'm sure he does. These DVDs. At least they're not VHS, cassettes.
All right. I have not graduated to Blu-rays, so I can't say anything
Yeah,
right
me
now.
too. I'm like halfway in, halfway out.
Right. I think I have like 3 Blu-rays out of everything. So yeah, I'm a little behind there. But all right. So we're going to kind of stay with this different type of question. I think these are a lot of fun. So for question, I think we're like 5. Question 5. All right. Name 2 horror movies starring George C. Scott.
Exorcist 3 and The Omen?
Mm-mm.
No, he wasn't in that.
Chris has got his hand up.
All right, Chris.
The Changeling.
Yes, that's
Changeling,
what I was looking for. Yeah.
All right. I
Yeah,
used my
good
lifeline.
one. All right, question 6. All right, the Mothman prophecies from 2002 takes place in what U.S. state? I'll give you a hint. Chris has been there.
Yeah, Virginia. No, is it Virginia? No, Tennessee,
You're closer with Virginia.
Vermont. No, that's not close.
It's got Virginia in the title.
West Virginia.
Right.
West
Yeah.
Morgantown, West Virginia.
Been there.
All right. Yes. West Virginia. All right.
Just like this.
Oh, there you go, Alaska.
All right. Question 7. Name 3 horror films with dark or darkness in the title.
Dark and the Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Darkness Falls,
Right?
And was it Lord of Darkness? Or what's the John Carpenter movie?
Oh, Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness.
I'll
Prince of
give it to you
Darkness.
because I knew what you were going for. Yeah, and it's John Carpenter, so it's automatic win.
Yeah.
All right.
Egg Shen.
What about Army of Darkness?
Army of
Sure you
Darkness.
too.
Oh,
Army of
God.
Darkness. Come on.
Hey, it's harder than well, you guys have been through it. You guys know.
We've been through it. Can't do it. Try
right.
pull that one on us.
All right, question 8. This is a tricky one, so don't answer too fast. Young Michael Myers killed his sister Judith on Halloween night in what year?
Shit, seven is in the 70s.
No.
82.
No, you're going the wrong way.
No, that's my final answer. I'm not gonna fuck around with it. I don't know.
You don't
81.
want you don't want to do
No, I'm gonna save my lifelines.
All right. It was actually 68 or
Oh,
63. I'm sorry, 63.
Wow,
I got Night of the Living Dead on my brain. 63.
that's a good one. That's a hard question.
Yeah, I wanted to throw some challenging ones in here.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Just because I thought, Ken knows his stuff. All right. Question 9. In the movie Day of the Dead from 1985, in what U.S. state does the movie take place? I got a cool hint here if you're not sure.
I think give me a hint, but I think I know what it is. Go ahead.
Well, it's pretty obvious hint. One of our hosts is from there.
Oh, Tennessee, Florida.
Yeah.
That's what I said first.
Yep,
Process of elimination.
Right. All right. It is Florida. I actually did not know that. I thought that was kind of a cool kind of little thing there. All right.
There's still plenty of zombies here too. So
Yeah, there still are.
Right.
lots.
All right. So let's see here. Okay. Give me for this question, I'm sorry. Oh, shoot.
9.
Oh, question 9. All right. Question 9. In the Terminator from 1984, what type of animal does the human resistance use to detect Terminators?
Why the hell do I not know this? Is it a cat? A dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say the obvious. How come I don't remember that at all? Weird.
I thought that was kind of.
Oh, no, I know. Okay, it is a dog. I remember now. I remember. It was just like a brain fart. Yeah, okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Question 11. We're on question 11. All right. Going to give you another movie synopsis. And again, remember, you still have some lifelines left. All right. A group of medical students go on a skiing holiday and wind up having to fight Nazi zombies because, of course, they do.
Oh,
In this 2009 film.
it's this. What the hell is that movie called? Dead Snow or?
Yes.
Yeah, is it? Yeah,
Right
okay.
there, yeah.
I hadn't seen it yet either. It's on my list. I know.
It's a good one. You got to check that one out.
Yeah.
All right. Question 12. All right. I'm going to ask you another kind of like just kind of strain your brain kind of question and tell me 3 ways in which Michael Myers has been quotation marks killed.
I'll just tell you 3 ways. Okay. Shot.
Right.
Stab.
6 times.
What's the doctor's name there?
Dr. Loomis. Yeah.
Dr. Loomis. Didn't he like fall, blown up, fired? He was caught on fire once, I think.
Yes. Burned.
Yeah.
Yep. So you got shot, burned.
And hit by a car, maybe?
Yeah. I'm going to take that.
Yeah. I remember him getting hit by a car, and I would think he'd die.
Yeah. They thought he was dead. Of course, he's never dead. So I don't know how many times he's been burned and shot. I mean, that takes the cake there. All right. So yes. All right. So at one point, when are we supposed to go back to your postponed question after this?
I forgot it. So let's hear it again. Let's see if I can dig
Okay.
deep.
All right.
Now, do it now because it'll be on number 13 otherwise.
Okay.
My hands
All
are
right.
fair.
So this was the movie synopsis. The first question about Muffy St. John. She invites a group of her classmates to spend the weekend at her remote island mansion, but the weekend takes a dark turn when someone begins killing the students in this 1986 film.
It's like Valentine's Day? No.
It has to do with the
It's a
holiday.
holiday, right? Isn't it the
Yes.
one not Black Christmas?
It's not like a major holiday. I mean, well, it's
Oh, the second, February 2nd, April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day. April
Is that
Fool's
it? Yeah.
It is April Fool's Day. Yes.
I remember the only, and you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I hadn't seen it yet either, but I remember the VHS cover, and I was thinking, and I was getting Black Christmas in my mind. Anyway, okay, I'm good.
All right.
I'll take the yes.
Okay, so question 13. All right. I want you to give me 2 movies that have been adapted from Edgar Allan Poe stories.
Ooh, that's a really good question. Shit.
There's been a few.
The Raven is one.
Yes, that is one. Correct.
Is the Wicker Man? No. Shit. I'm gonna ask Chris because I still have a lifeline with Chris.
Yeah.
Well, it is
You used the lifeline with him.
Did I?
already.
Did I? Oh, you're right.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
10-yard penalty. All right, I haven't asked HorrO yet.
I'll give you one, but I doubt anybody saw it here. Lady Usher is a film that was done this year. I reviewed it, and it's one of the few that I would know that I did that on.
That was kind of like a twist on fall of The House of Usher, Lady Usher.
It's new, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's the movie
Yeah.
I'm mentioning is a new movie.
Yeah, I saw the preview for that. That's right. I
Yeah.
saw
I
that.
did not
Yeah.
know about that one. That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
also
my-
recommend Stonehurst Asylum starring Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, I did not know that was adapted from a Poe story. Okay. All right. And the other ones were Pit and the Pendulum and Mask of the Red Death were the other 2 that were up there. But there you go. I have no idea
How'd I
what
do?
score you got.
I
wasn't
think
keeping track.
I think I only missed
I think
one,
you missed one for sure.
You did miss one, yeah.
and I got the bonus, so it's third. That's
So,
I'm
yeah.
we're 30
Yeah.
13. Yeah.
He survives to stay the host.
Somebody said, "Stop cheating, Ken." I think that's your wife in the chat there.
No.
Yeah,
Go
she
to
is.
sleep.
Jessica Cruz.
Go to bed. Go to bed. What are you-
Stop your cheating over there.
I got called out. All right. Let's move on to our awards. Our award show. So the first category we're gonna have up is best special effects and makeup. Best special effects and makeup. So for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. And it's a movie that we just recently watched, and I really, really liked it for several of the scenes. But I'm gonna go with Castle Freak. I thought that it was awesome. I thought there was real good gore in there. There was just from the real when we did the interview, and he's talking about when she's whipping her back and just the actual Castle Freak deal. It was good. Like I thought the gore was really believable, and then I really struggled with the one. I had some few that were. I'll let you guys go around, but yes, that was mine for best special effects. I got to go with Castle Freak. Check it out.
All right, are we going in order?
Yeah, go ahead, Muse. Take it.
All right, so best special effects. I agree. I had a tie for this one. I'm going to already start cheating. So I'm going to follow Ken's lead here. And I'm going to, I definitely really like The Wretched, which was a movie that we did earlier in the year. The creature effects in that were awesome. Castle Freak was definitely up there for me as well. Those 2. So it was hard for me to ignore Castle Freak there because they did such a great job. But The Wretched is definitely one that I got to give some props to because it was just fantastic. And anybody that has not seen that in the chat, you got to go see that. Remedy that right away because it is excellent. So on to whoever wants to go next.
I'll go. How about Bite? The woman in Costa Rica gets bitten by an insect. And then throughout the rest of the movie, she's turning into bug creature, pretty disgusting stuff, but floated our boat. So I think I'm gonna go with Bite. Can anybody hear me?
All right, yeah. Omar, are you going to go next?
Yeah,
No?
yeah. I didn't know that there was a second one or that was it.
That was it.
Okay, so that was it. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys something different. I did, props to The Wretched. I did have that listed, but mine is gonna go to The Pale Door. If anybody's seen that, that is on Shudder now. And there's some really cool witches in this movie, and to me, they're done the right way. These are witches that I liked. Another couple that I also liked is I liked what they did in Host, and I'm talking about the Host where they did kind of like our setup here. Props to all of them for pulling that off. I know it's special effects in a different way, but each of those girls kind of had to do that on their own. So props to them for that. And of course, a final one, anything for Jackson at the end of the movie. There's some really awesome creatures in that movie.
All right, so let's move on to best kill. I forgot I made these really cool backgrounds for our show. I'm like, I wasn't expecting you to do the Deathly 13, so it kind of threw me off. But yeah, here we go. We got these cool backgrounds. So best kill. Now, gosh, man, I thought about this when I had a lot of different ones in my mind. We've seen some really great kills this year, but I got to go with also kind of what HorrO was saying with Hosts with the S and the dinner scene where I believe it's Samantha Locksley character Lucy, right? And she gets the mom and just starts smashing her head in with the freaking hammer, and everybody's like, "Ah!" It was awesome. So that's my best kill. We'll go back to Chris.
I had that same thing. The hammer
Nice.
from Hosts. It was elongated. It gave you a long time to think about what was going on. It gave you a long time to think about what would I do if I were sitting right there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just bing. It lasted.
She savored that. She was loving every second of that.
Yeah.
And she's hot too.
Yeah. 2 for 2 for Hosts.
What about you, HorrO?
Make that 3 for 3.
Wow.
I'll give that one. That was definitely fair, but I'll give you two others real quick so I don't have to repeat what you guys just said. Random acts of violence. I don't know who has seen that. That's also, I believe, on Shudder. There's a scene, I think, of the first time the killer comes out. He goes to the car, and there's a bunch of teens there, and I mean, he just butchers them up. I mean, they just literally take the name of the movie, Random Acts of Violence, and he just goes to work on them. I liked that one. And if anybody out there has seen The Queen of Black Magic, which I believe is going to end up on Shudder, this is an Indonesian film. There's the end of the movie there where there's a series of deaths of the family members, and it's just a wild scene. There's several different rooms, a bunch of crazy stuff going on there. So those are my other two to give you guys something different.
I hate to sound repetitive, guys, but Hosts with an S.
Wow.
Definitely. I made this list last night. I swear to God.
That's weird.
Lead up to the whole shebang there. She's in remission. Everybody's celebrating. She's well. She gets the head smash with the hammer. I was literally in shock for the rest of the movie, and it just kept on coming. But that was the most disturbing, shocking thing. It messed me up so bad. And I really liked Emily Sweet there. Her big scene. I'm not going to ruin it for everybody, but anybody that's not seen Castle Freak, Emily Sweet there. Quite a shocking situation in a passionate, moment. And I'm not going to ruin it, but it was bloody and it was awesome. So I wanted to put a little bit different in there, but that was amazing. I was just like, what the hell? You think you're watching this and then you're watching that. Let's put it that way.
The runner-up that I had too was Anything for Jackson, where the neighbor comes over and just he just turns and kills himself. I was not expecting that one, and I was struggling with it. But honorable mention for that one. So let's go to the next category, and that is best horror comedy. I'll go last, but I'm going to go with Muse first.
Well, this was super tough for me because we saw so many great horror comedies this year. I got to give it to Uncle Peckerhead.
Oh,
Uncle Peckerhead.
Me too.
Minds think alike. This is a tough one for me. I really liked It Cuts Deep as well, and Driven were three that I really enjoyed. But I got to give it to Uncle Peckerhead as the front runner. But I really loved so many of the movies we saw this year. This was really tough. So those three for sure. For sure.
Let's go to HorrO.
Okay, I definitely think Uncle Peckerhead is up there. Definitely a surprise movie for me. But I went with Scare Package. I guess I'm loving everything that's on Shudder. So hopefully that's hitting you guys out there. That is on Shudder. Scare Package is also an anthology. but it's also very comedy based. And another one on Shutter. I don't know what's happening here. Scare Me. I don't want to give too much away about that one, but I also thought that that was a good, funny one. And a very unusual one, Exorcism at 60,000 feet. Just to throw out a very random movie there.
And Chris, what do you got?
You know, Bai Ling's character as the stewardess is classic. The two movies, I think the runner-up would be Driven, but the one for some reason I just think was hilarious. Maybe it was the comment about dial-up and the internet is housebound, which is a New Zealand movie that we did maybe 8 or 9 months ago. It's been a while, but I just thought that was very funny.
She was great.
It had a lot to do with the main actress, and as a juvenile delinquent, big time, just her view of things. And you know, the one of the guys ends up being, I think, the guy who installs the monitoring device on the ankle ends up just happening to being a paranormal investigator. And plot twist like that. It was just, I would go with, I think, Housebound. It's a tough one, especially with the number of the movies we did. But if I had to choose one, ask me 10 minutes from now and I'll choose another one. But Housebound.
No, it's a good choice. Yeah, that was funny. The best line was, "What are you gonna do if a ghost gets in your face? I'm gonna smash him in the face." So good stuff there. All right, let's go to the next one. The scariest movie. What movie scared you? HorrO. Let's start with you.
Well, this one, you know, it's a cop out for me. Easy one, Dark and the Wicked. If you've listened to the show at all, you know I've ranted on about this one. That was very easy for me. Some other ones. A couple of people in the chat are asking what Dexter thinks. Dexter's a little, you know, as we like 2020, he's a little disappointed that there were some more skeletons in 2020 movies. He does like anything for Jackson. There's one of the creatures towards the end is almost skeleton-like. But he's a little disappointed in the lack of skeletons in 2020. So I told him, you know, it'll come around. There'll be more skeletons again at some point. But besides that, I think The Wretched had a couple of really good scares in it. Again, Host without an S, just with the girls there. They did a pretty good job for what they did. And a movie that's on Netflix right now, which I recommend. And it kind of too bad it came out towards the end of the year, and it's called His House. It's on there right now. It has sneaked in on some people's top list. Check it out. It's a different movie, and it's got some really good creepy stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna just piggyback off you, and I was thinking what movie had really unnerved me. You know, Host was up there, but I got to go with Dark and the Wicked, man. The ambience of that film, it was a slow burn, but you knew like what's gonna happen. Like you got to listen. You got to watch it with your headphones. 100%. You got to watch it. Dark room. These are one of the movies that I can't stress enough. The sound, just scary movie. I slept with one eye open for a little bit. Great movie. Well done. Scariest movie for me. Chris, let's go with you next.
You know how politically correct I am.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, so Host is up there, but let me say, not the girls from the Host, but the women from the Host. Look at that. But you know something that this is funny. I had a couple written down, Hosts, Bite, which I mentioned before, The Dawn, a Devanny Pins movie.
Yeah.
But you know something? If you've been through it, and you guys might be a little too young to have done it, but The Tent, and I don't want to really give the spoilers away, but if I'm going to, so I'll give you 3 seconds to mute. 2, 1, 0. Alzheimer's. If you've been through it and it's been an intimate event in your life, it was, by the time the movie ends, it was horrific. And like I said, it's because it conjures up a whole lot of personal memories. So a little bit different approach on that. But since we have 4 of us here, I figured I'd try a different approach. You can unmute it, though you probably don't hear that. So we probably lost you for the rest of the show.
Unmute. All right.
Let me step in there before Muse jumps in and kind of piggyback off what Chris just said. If you want to watch something and maybe you guys are more familiar with, is The Relic, which just plays very similar to what Chris just said.
Nice. Go ahead, Muse.
All right. So yeah, Dark and the Wicked for me as well. But besides that, I mean, I don't need to really elaborate on that. We've kind of talked about that. The ambiance was just fantastic, and it's got such a buildup where you're just like, oh my God, you know.
Yeah.
And definitely saw Brian Bertino's elements of The Strangers in certain shots there, as you see people in the doorway and this, that, and the other, and it was really excellent. I really liked seeing some more of that. I really enjoyed that element in The Strangers. Definitely not a home invasion film, but it definitely had that whole there's something there, then it's gone type of thing. So awesome. But Hell House LLC, kind of going back, scared the shit out of me. Hell House was one of those things. I am a huge fan of going to haunted houses. Didn't get to do that this year because of the pandemic, but really made me rethink going to haunted attractions. after seeing that, and it really wigged me out. So definitely that was one of the scariest for me.
Well, I would have said Hell House LLC too, but I said movies of 2020, and you didn't get the memo, obviously.
Oh, it was
you're such a troublemaker.
I think it was listed. Okay, so I would say if it was going to be 2020, I would say The Curse of Audrey Earnshaw really kind of unsettled me a bit. So for like 2020, I was just going with scariest. I thought it was just scariest overall.
Well, I would say The Exorcist then.
No, I mean of like since we've been doing the show.
Oh,
We haven't done that one yet.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw one more movie in there because I liked kind of what Chris's direction went, and this is something I struggled with on this category. Mother of Monsters. This movie was scary to me because it's a lot of it's kind of what's going on in the world today, and being a parent, we all just want our kids to be mentally healthy and happy, and this one I wanted to say this one, and it's just stuck with me after I watched it. Lucia Lyman, who is the director, was just a wonderful woman. So yeah, that was my honorable mention for the scariest movie. So I'm going to take not necessarily a break, but we have these categories kind of picked out here. Did you guys want to add any other ones before we get to the major awards here? We have like 4 more left. Muse, did you have any that you wanted to add in?
Well, I really liked the idea of, some of the plot twists that we've seen this year. And It Cuts Deep, which was another great horror comedy we saw. That was one of those movies that made you think that you were watching one movie and then it just resets you about 40 minutes in. And I loved it. I really was not ready for it. You think you know what's going on. You think you know what's what. And they just flip everything over on you and pull the rug out. So I had kind of like best surprise or best plot twist. I really dug It Cuts Deep. It's one we recently did this year. And one other real quick one was Omar came up with some really great ones. A movie with a message or a social issue. I agree with you completely on Mothers of Monsters. That's definitely up there for me. And Don't Look Back was another one.
Oh, yeah.
And beliefs and faith and everything like that. I really enjoyed that as well. Just an excellent film. If you have not seen that, definitely one to go back and watch. But yeah, Mothers of Monsters, The Tent is another one that Chris mentioned. Definitely up there for really good message in a movie. So that was it.
Chris, how about you? Any other categories you want to throw, or you want to piggyback off that?
Well, I was going to say, as far as throw out categories, best cheesy grindhouse movie of 2020. I just saw one. I know HorrO saw it. Bullets of Justice. The movie starts out with a flying pig with a tail gunner midget strapped to his back, waging war on bounty hunters. I know it's right out of The English Patient, kind of a ripoff of that, but it was just such a beautiful thing. And the other one I'd like to mention is Terror at Bigfoot Pond. When I originally saw it on Tubi, It had 1.0 out of 10 stars. So you know I got to see it. But I tell you, those kids had fun making it. And you could say the Bigfoot was a really cheesy combination of Twiki and an Ewok. But how do you know Bigfoot doesn't look like that? Some people in West Virginia might know one way or another, but it could have been a very accurate depiction of Bigfoot. And I tell you, Geraldine McFarlane is just a wonderful, beautiful actress. And she's in that. And that's heartbreak of the year when she gets killed halfway through the movie. So I highly recommend that. But you know me, always looking for the cheesy grindhouse drive-in type movies. They're still making them. And so those are the two I want to throw out there.
And HorrO and Dexter. You guys got any new categories here?
Oh my God! I mean, I've seen so much this year. I could talk about it, all kinds of stuff. Kind of the message thing. I like, what you guys said and what we've already said. A movie that probably nobody else has seen, which is a shame, is The Columnist. And I think I mentioned this on a previous show long ago when I saw this. And like I said, we're all on Twitter. We're very active on Twitter, and basically this movie is very centered on Twitter. The woman in this movie, she is a columnist, and I guess she gets picked on Twitter, and then basically becomes a serial killer and starts going after everybody that has basically talked bullshit about her on Twitter. So I think that's something that can relate to all of us and some of us on the chat. Be careful who you're talking shit with, because you never know who's going to show up at your door. It is a foreign film, so I don't know when anybody else is going to get to see it, but I was fortunate enough to catch that one. And I would just like to say, take a moment here to give props to, we covered, and I know we mentioned on many of these episodes, so many movies with young female actresses in them that just did wonderful, wonderful jobs. Maybe names that aren't common, that nobody's heard of. And in 1BR, I don't know the names of the women, but 1BR, the lead woman in that, she did fabulous. I don't know. There's I don't want to give away. There's her that we just did from The Crumbs, and I forgot the other movie that we did. She was in Emily, we just did in Castle Freak. I know she's done some other stuff, but maybe not everybody's familiar with her. There's just whole lot. Gemma Moore from Host. Several of the girls we interviewed her, but several of the girls in Host did a really good job. Women. Sorry, women. But yeah, there's just a lot out there. A lot of the movies that we covered, if you go back, even the two women in Host with an S.
The Host was Babes. The other ones are women.
Babes. Okay, Babes. Okay, I'm getting all confused, but you get the point. Shout out to all of them. We continue to say horror is changing, and when I talk remakes, we start talking about flipping the roles and have women take men's roles, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, and it's not that way in these movies. But if you go back and you look at a lot of the movies that we covered this year, props to all those girls, women, babes, whatever you want to call them. Props to all of them.
Well, on that note, I did want to throw in one category, and that's Where the Scary Things Are, Babe of the Year. And I struggled with this one, and I got to go with Gemma Moore from Host. I think that she's my new crush, man, and I hope my wife is still not watching. I love you more than anything, but Gemma, I would buy you a drink and suffer the consequences when I got home to my wife. That's I'm just gonna leave it like that. So that's the Babe of the Year for horror for the Where the Scary Things Are 2020, and then just a great job on all those subcategories there. There's so many different categories we can do. Before we get into the best of the best here, listeners and people in the chat room, if you guys just get ready, I want to hear what you guys think about the best film of the year. That'll be the last category, and we're about 4 categories away from there. So get your thinking caps on. I want to see in the chat what you guys think is the best film of the year. So that being said, we are going to go with the best director. So who hasn't gone? HorrO, you're going to go first because you haven't gone first yet.
Okay, best director. Well, again, here's an easy one for me. I only said his name in shout outs for 2 months in a row. Brian Bertino for Dark and the Wicked. Just had to. Since that was so easy, I'm gonna give a nod to Rob Savage, who did host without an S, the one with the women. Um, Putting that together in the middle of this craziness and the virus and whatever, and getting them to all do their roles while basically not there. I think you deserve some credit for it because that had to be crazy. And I'm going to give one to Joko Anwar. And he is an Indonesian filmmaker. And maybe you've seen some of his films on Shudder. He is one to know because if you have not seen his films yet, check them out. I'm talking Impetigore. I'm talking Queen of Black Magic, Satan's Slaves. Some of them are this year. Some of them are a little bit further. His movies are crazy and scary and creepy. If you see his name come up, watch that film, whatever it is.
We don't know the name of the film.
No, those are Impetigore, Satan's
Impetigore.
Slaves,
Those.
and Queen of Black Magic. Those are three probably the biggest films that he's done that you may know of. One of them's on Shudder, one of them's coming to Shudder, and one of them, no, actually two of them are on Shudder, and one of them is still to come. So you can definitely find them there. Great stuff. Oof.
Chris, who's your director of the year? Who's getting the Golden Goat Award?
Well, I got a couple names written down. We interviewed a lot of really neat directors. It's hard to pick them. And like I said, if you ask me this question 10 minutes later, it might be a different answer. Keep going back and forth. A couple of movies I'd like to mention. I mentioned one earlier, Kyle Couch from The Tent.
Yeah.
What he had to do and how he was able to keep the final reveal from you till the final moments. That was, I got to give him credit for that. Another one, we did not do a show on this movie called Circus. I did a review on my blog. A young actress who has only made short films up to now has made a film called Circus. It's more of an opera. It's more of a choreographed dance, very little on the dialogue, very heavy on the imagery. And it takes you through the 17th century all the way to modern times and ties them together in a very musical way. So Allison Moon is the director that you'll see more of her stuff, but she is definitely somebody to watch. So those are the two names that come right to mind at this moment.
Excellent. Muse, what do you got?
All right. So best director for me is David Marmor for 1BR for sure.
Nice.
I loved him. Thought he did a great job. Rob Savage is up there for me as well for host, just the sheer creativity. But I think David Marmor for me struck a chord because I've lived in apartments my whole life. So I was like, this could happen. I don't know. There's a lot of crazy people out there. And I also like Tusia Lyman for Mothers of Monsters. Just really just nailed it for me. So those three, there's so many, like everybody said, we've interviewed so many excellent directors and producers for that matter, and writers, it was so hard to choose, but those are the three that really jumped to mind.
Yeah, I'm with you on two of them at least. Rob Savage, I think, and HorrO kind of alluded to this earlier. He kind of put together this movie. It's a 45-minute movie, 46 minutes of just awesomeness. And it's the world we live in right now is where, we're on screen, we're in different parts of the country and we're able to communicate. But if something were to happen, if Dexter was just to slightly turn his head and look at HorrO, I'd literally piss my pants and then I'd watch and I want to see what happens, Wouldn't it be awesome? So just to think of this concept and I can only imagine the budget was really low to make this movie, and it is going to be one of the best horror films, probably I'd say at least in the top 15, of all time. I don't know. It's a really good movie. Rob Savage did an excellent job. The gals on there, the women on the movie, just nailed it.
Dames. The term is dames.
Uh-oh, I think Ken froze. Uh-oh, right in the middle of the awards show.
Play a convincing role being scared while
killed him
looking at your
again.
computer screen.
Uh-oh.
What?
Ken is so 12 minutes ago.
You froze a little there. Go rewind.
We lost you for a
Oh.
second.
Rewind
Oh.
yourself like a minute.
All right. What did I leave off?
Remix.
Where did
We're
I
on
leave off?
question 5 of the Deathly 13.
Oh shit, that far, huh? Where did I leave off? I don't want to. All right, so you guys heard me say Rob Savage, right?
Yep.
Just great movie. Well put together. It's gonna be an awesome movie, forever, and everybody's gonna watch it because they're gonna remember 2020 was a shit show for a lot of people, and we learned how to use technology, and he made the best of it. So here we are, and we use Zoom, so it's awesome. Brian Bertino, obviously, too, with Dark and the Wicked. I struggled with this one. I thought it was a beautiful movie. And then also Tusia Lyman, too. I love that movie. I think, the found footage type thing was amazing. And I struggled with this one. But I went with something that horror movies that kind of changed the game, and I think hosted that. And Mr. Savage achieve that. So as you can see behind me, we're going to go with Best Actor for the next round. I'll go ahead and jump on this one. Speaking of Tusia Lyman and Mothers of Monsters, I went with Bailey Edwards, who was the son in Mom, M-O-M, Mother of Monsters. I think that he played a really convincing role, somebody that was really hurting inside, and you didn't know it was up and down, and it was just a brilliant role. The other actor I was going to pick was in The Shed, the friend who wanted to get I forgot his name. He had a weird name, and I don't remember the actor's name, but that was another character that was just memorable, and the way he played it was really convincing. He was very traumatizing, and he was upset at his best friend. It was just all this emotion. But I went with Bailey Edwards from MOM, Mother of Monsters. That was my best actor. All right, I'll throw it over to Muse.
All right. So for this one, this went to anything for Jackson for me. Julian Richings, who played Henry Walsh, the husband there, and Sheila McCarthy, who played Audrey Walsh. They were absolutely awesome. I don't think, we weren't supposed to like them, but we loved them. They were doing horrible things, but we still loved them. And that's hard to do. That's hard to love somebody and be rooting for them. But I mean, they were going through a lot. And that was another movie that dealt with grief and how people respond and the lengths that they will go when they're grieving. Just a knockout performance. And then, of course, Michael Abbott's and Aaron Ireland as Louise and Michael. Oh, my goodness. And one thing I really noticed about, because I just watched Dark and the Wicked last night, it is really, and I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but it is really hard to nail a Southern accent where it sounds authentic to me. To me, it always sounds like too much or too little. And I really kind of felt that I just felt like, these guys are from Texas. I don't know. It was just, they nailed it. The acting was superb, because when we talked to Michael in the interview, there was not a trace of Southern accent there. Right. And he had me completely sold in the movie. And I mean, their performances were just absolutely out of the park. So yeah, definitely Julian Richings and Sheila McCarthy from Anything for Jackson, and Michael Abbott and Maren Ireland for Dark and the Wicked. Just I couldn't narrow it down, but I love Bailey Edwards as well. I love that choice. That was fantastic, and he was excellent. Just a real breakout performance for him, and of course Gemma Moore and just the whole cast of women there on host as well. Just there's so many. It's just I don't know. I'm just gonna shut up now and pass it on.
Dames.
Yeah, dames.
Dames.
Pass it on to Chris and see what his favorite actor and actress were.
All right, actor or actress or both?
Oh.
No, we're just doing actor right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did both. I'm sorry. My bad.
That's okay. We'll just skip you.
Honorable mentions to C. Thomas Howell and James Duval. They were just such joy.
Yeah.
Beast mode, right? I think beast mode.
Beast mode. I wanted to mention that too, and I forgot. Good. Yes.
Thomas
Cheers
Howell,
to them.
Amazing. Like you don't even realize it's him till like 20 minutes into the movie. Oh, yeah, C. Thomas.
Pony Boy.
But the one we did not. Did we have him on the show with what's her face? Richard Speight Jr. from Driven.
Yeah, the actress there, I forgot her name.
Casey Dillard.
Casey
Yeah,
Dillard.
Casey
Was
Dillard.
he on the show too with her?
No,
Or was
not
it
the main
just
actor.
Casey Dillard? Well,
It was just Casey Dillard.
Richard Speight Jr. is
Richard
the
Speight,
guy
yeah.
who initially you think is a psycho. And then soon in the movie, you realize he knows exactly what he's doing and it all makes sense, which is a metaphor for me, I think, going through life. But he did great. He played the psycho well, and then he played the sort of bargain basement Van Helsing well, as sort of the guy who needs to kill the monsters to save the world.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good stuff, man. No, I forgot about the Driven movie until you guys mentioned it. Not that it wasn't good or anything. That could have been one of my more better filmed, best directed films too, because of the way they shot it, being in the car. But then obviously the acting was brilliant too. So HorrO, what do you got?
All right. I'm gonna go along with what some of you guys said, and uh, don't sleep on Driven. Driven is a good film there. If anybody out there has not seen that one. Speaking of not being seen, of course, leave it to me to mention a movie that probably nobody else has seen. But I'm gonna give it to Gary Green from Friedberry. I know it's a largely festival film right now. I don't know, I expect it to be released at some point next year, hopefully. The man basically says nothing in this movie. He says very little, but it's just one of those jobs that you do acting where everything is how you put your face and how you walk and everything. I don't really want to spoil the movie. I really love this movie. I know it's not going to get mentioned by a lot of people because it only played in festivals as far as I know. But this man did a terrific job. Clancy Brown in the Mortuary Collection. That's an anthology, so he's not in everything, but he is part of the center story there, and he is so fabulous in that. And ask anybody who's seen that, and that's on Shudder as well. He can be the tall man if they ever do a remake of that. That just tells you that, and he needs his own show based on the Mortuary Collection. And I will give it to Julian as well for Anything for Jackson. The couple in that is fabulous. Both of them together is great, and of course Michael Abbott. I didn't want to say him for Darkenway because I'm just repeating myself over and over, but because everybody knows how much I love that movie. But he also did a great job.
Yeah, I was gonna say Michael Abbott too, only because when Muse made him cry on her show. But I felt like the message that the reason why Muse made him cry, and the message that he gave was kind of like it gets lost in translation with these actors that get too big or whatever, and it was like this guy's gonna be a star, and if this movie's gonna put him over and whatnot, and we got a real moment from him, and we've gotten a few of those with some of our guests and whatnot, and that's one thing I'm always going to remember from the show. Is it was a really good question, Muse. So, so let's move on to Best Actress, and the ladies' man, Chris. We're gonna have you go first.
I mentioned Casey Dillard.
Yeah.
Devaney Penn as the troubled nun was terrific. But the one I really, really liked, and this is just more of a personal bias than anything else, we had her on a couple of times, was Chelsea Jerkowitz. I really, really appreciated her effervescentness or her bubbliness. Or I think her and I are the only people who in public will mention we've had really good years. It's not enough for me to do well. It means a lot to me that everybody around me wallows in self-pity and an abyss of dismal failure.
Especially Dexter.
That was just a dramatic reading I did, but no. Chelsea Jerkowitz, I think she's 20 or 21. And the two movies she did were Crumbs, where she actually plays a physically challenged young lady. There's a twist to that. She might not be as young as you think she is, but that alone is not easy. And I know she talked about the preparation for that and how she did that. And then help me with the one she's on the run in Nevada. Is that the Unfamiliar? Is that
Abigail Haunting?
Abigail Haunting.
Yeah, Abigail
yes.
Haunting.
It's sort of a low budget trailer park, Rosemary's Baby type thing. And she played a hardened criminal on the run, in hiding, and you've got to keep that in mind as you go through this movie, because she's also a scared woman. She thinks she's being tracked by, and you don't really know the situation to the very end of the movie, and she is, and she's not only being tracked by a former partner in crime, but also something to say from the other side. And I think I got to go with her. But a close second for Dillard and Penn.
Yeah.
These three dames, I'm going to use the politically correct term, are the first three to come to mind. And like I said, 10 minutes from now, I'll have another three. But as far as movies we did this year, that's what comes to mind.
No, really good choices. Chelsea Yurkowitz is awesome, and Yurkovic. I give up. Muse, Best Actress.
Oh, I kind of already went over that. I thought we were skipping me, but I'll go ahead and go back over them. Sheila McCarthy from Anything for Jackson, and Maren Ireland from Dark and the Wicked. And honorable mention, and I'm gonna kick myself for not googling her name, but Curse of Audrey Earnshaw. Again,
That's mine. Yeah, that's mine. I got it's Jessica Reynolds. That's mine.
Jessica Reynolds, yeah. Spectacular performance. Yeah. Just really had you just completely and totally engrossed in the whole movie, and you were just hypnotized as the movie went on. Her performance was absolutely captivating, and she's definitely an honorable mention for me.
Yeah, I struggled with this one. I had two as well, but I went with Jessica Reynolds from Curse of Audrey Earnshaw because she was a young, up-and-coming star. It was a beautiful shot movie. I loved the movie. I liked the movie The Witch, and I wish that The Witch was more like this movie because I don't think they had quite the budget. So, but no, I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought she did an excellent job. Obviously, the cast from Hosts, but there is one gal that really kind of gave my Jessica a run for her money, and that was Lucy's character, Samantha Loxley's character, Lucy, who we had on the show from Hosts, and that was our best kill scene. I thought she did really well, but not just her too. Nadia Lamine's character, and she had to really put some balls up there, man. She was in the thick of it, and the Neil Ward, I think his name was Jack, was up in her face all the time, and so there were some really great moments. Nadia Lamine and Samantha Loxley from Hosts, but I'm going to give my Best Actress award to Jessica Reynolds. So before we get into the best movie of the year, HorrO, you got?
I didn't go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm my fault. Go ahead.
There was Dexter,
We just thought you were just going to say Dark and the Wicked, so.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I know at this point it's just dumb, but yeah, give it to her and all that. You guys covered it a lot. I mentioned it a few minutes ago. Women in horror and a lot of the movies we did. Props to all of them. But I'm going to give it to a big actress here, Elizabeth Moss, who did Invisible Man. A lot of people forget Invisible Man happened this year.
Yes.
It may seem like forever ago, but when I was thinking about all these movies, Invisible Man did happen this year. So she did a terrific job in that, and another movie called Shirley, if you haven't seen that one. And along with that, I also Angela Bettis, who's in 12-Hour Shift. Definitely see that one that comes out. And Sheila McCarthy, you mentioned, for Anything for Jackson. And here's another one. Lulu Wilson. You've seen her in other movies. If you Google the name, that doesn't ring a bell, for Becky. She's another young actress who did a spectacular job in that movie. And she's been in some other movies that you'll know if you Google her name, if you don't know who I'm talking about.
I'm sorry. I meant to skip Muse, and I ended up skipping you instead.
We look alike, and I don't know. Or she looks like Dexter. I don't know. One of us three looks the same. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw, and I didn't see Invisible Man, but I knew that it came out this year, and I knew that. I'm surprised you brought it up. I'm not surprised you brought it up. I'm sorry, because I knew you wanted to watch that one, and I'm not a big Elizabeth Moss fan. I don't know why. I just can't get into it. But that's just me. So yeah, the main category, the last category, the big one, the Golden Goat Award for Best Film. Now, obviously, we had watched so many great films this year. There were so many memorable movies and scenes and performances. Overall, just I was really struggling with this one, and I think that for me, I got to go with Host. I just, like I said earlier, it's something that revolutionized the way we film movies, and it was a brilliant concept in a sense, and the acting had to be dead on, the effects had to be dead on. It was scary, it had I feel like I was scared watching it, in a sense. I was scared for these gals in the movie. Dames, women, chicks. But no, I felt like this movie, it is an awesome movie, and I know it's gonna do great. So it was close. It was close with Die You Zombie Bastards, but I picked Host. remember we watched Die You Zombie Bastards. It was so bad. Alexis Egan agrees with Host. Anybody else? Emma, Host. Anybody else in the chat? We'll jump back over there, but it looks like Host is doing it. Let's go over to Chris. What was your movie of the year?
The movie I sat back and enjoyed the most, and that's a big category for me.
Yes.
There might be 1,000 reasons why this wasn't the best movie of the year, but I enjoyed Wrestle Massacre a lot. The scene when the midget gets body slammed. Where else are you going to see that? I would be fine if that became a normal plot device to replace the two young lovers on a hot air balloon ride. But, you can't beat a midget getting body slammed. And really, that's all you need. But there were neat cameos. It was a twisted horror story with gore and bad guys and psychos and misunderstood psychos. But, with the AEW getting really, really big now, and I think AEW because it's not as pretentious and gratuitous as the WW whatever. So there's a vacuum that needs to be filled, and Wrestle Massacre did that. So I'm just going to throw that out there as the best movie that we all saw.
That's a very Chris-like movie to put on there. It definitely had all of the above. That meets all your criteria of a good Chris the Creature horror film. All right, HorrO, what do you guys got for us?
Well, no dramatic drum roll needed. The Dark and the Wicked. I only said it a million times. I only ranted about it for months. I said it at the time that it would be on people's top 10 list. Go through the top 10 lists that are coming out now. It's in there. It's been number one a couple of times. It's in there. I like to take credit. I feel like I made the movie. I would love to have said that. But I told you guys when I saw it, I told you guys months ago, everybody, waited till now and obviously put out their list. But I told you this is going to be my number one movie. And I'm going to be honest, I gave a lot of movies another chance. If there would have been another movie that I thought was better, I would have said it. But it to me, it wasn't. I want to save my other picks because I will be putting them on my blog, and I'm still not sure the order. But a couple of them have been named here tonight. And at least one or two of them we've done on the show here. We've gotten a chance to interview them. So numbers 2 through whatever after that are the more interesting ones. For me, I haven't decided the final order yet, but I would say the one that I'm thinking number 2, and when that comes out, was very close. I loved it. And I think if you listen to that episode, because it was on one we did, I told the people that we talked to how much I really did enjoy their movie as well. So that's a small hint if you paid attention to all the episodes. But yeah, Dark and the Wicked, I mean, you should have just skipped me for this one. This is the one you should have just skipped me. And I will just say, Alexis in the chat asked what Dexter's favorite actress was. And that's Emily from Castle Freak, because unfortunately we didn't get to do the interview, but she had all the skeletons behind her. And when I was showing him that, he was a Castle Freak at that time. He was going crazy. He was like, look at all those skeletons behind her. Why didn't we? Yeah, he ripped me a new one for not being on that show, and I say, whatever. But yeah, so that's Dexter's 2 cents there. That was his favorite movie, I guess, too. So
He's a
that's
freak.
Dexter's vote. He's a freak.
Yeah, with his stupid face. Look at his stupid face. Get out of here, Dexter.
Face you would love. Yeah.
Muse, let's hear it.
All right, probably no shocker here. 1BR for me all day long. I was a huge fan of this film. I related to this one. I'm definitely the chick that lies about having a cat when I move into the apartment. I'm lying on the application. You cook my cat, it would have been a whole different movie. I can tell you that right now. I love you guys at 1BR. You know I'm kidding. It's that one. I love that movie. The cast, the production, the directing, all of it is definitely tops for me. And I really like it was close. Host, of course, because it was so creative and it was just something we hadn't really seen done, and they did it so well. And I know I'm just kind of repeating that, but I want to sneak one category in, since I kind of like already I was really quick. I kind of felt that there was one there, and Chris actually reviewed this on his blog recently, so go check it out. I call this the under the radar must see kind of movie, and we did not do it on the show, but I would love to do it. It's open 24 hours. Just recently saw it. It's on Tubi TV for free, streaming free right now. Go see it. The performances are excellent. You're going to go into it not knowing what to expect, and I'm telling you, you will not be sorry. The ending is excellent. They did it right from beginning to end, and that was definitely kind of wanted to throw that little under the radar. If you have run out of movies to see, and I don't know how you could, there's been so many good ones, but that's definitely one that I would check out too. But 1BR for best movie, and Host, of course, as well.
Oh man. So we started out on the same foot, then we all went different directions at the end. I just want to give a shout out to the chat room. Luna, Redcoat, John, Grant, Alexis, Egan, obviously. Promote Horror. I don't know who that is. Emma, newcomer. Hey, Emma. Who else we got here? Llama Face. That's a killer name. Llama Face. I love it. We got a couple other ones here. Mike.
Dexter's big fans of her. She likes Dexter.
Oh, right on. He needs all the fans he can get. Yeah. So thank you everybody who's in the chat room. I appreciate you guys joining us. Just to sum it up, we had a really great year here on our show. We love what we do. We can't wait to 2021, and hopefully we can just come with it again and keep bringing some good quality shows on for you and guests and whatnot. It's going to be a weird year adjusting, hopefully back to normal. And it was really, I won't say easy, but we had a lot of good guests that were willing to come on the show, and a lot of I don't know if it's because we're just really good looking people or what, but we love it. And anyway, so that's pretty much the Golden Goat Award Show 2020, the first of its kind. Alexis, Egan, and John Grant, the first to receive an award ever. Jay Betchall, welcome to our show. I see you there. Anyway, you guys want to close it out? Let's go around the horn real quick. And Chris, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I almost can't wait till the 2021 award show. That's going to be kind of cool. And I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but a hint for the audience out there that we all might be predisposed to choose one particular film next year. That's all I'm going to say. Could be a very boring show. But anyway, this has been a lot of fun. I know as soon as we sign off, I'm going to look at my list and say, oh, we didn't mention so-and-so. We didn't mention so-and-so. And I apologize beforehand, because we did a lot of really fun movies this year. And it's going to be kind of neat next year. And but I am looking forward to next year. I hope it is as good as this year. And you know something, guys? You might not know it, but we had a good year, and I'm going to leave it at that.
I had a good year. I'm not complaining. I got a little sick, and that was about it. So let's go over to Promote Horror with HorrO and Dexter. Let's hear your shout-outs.
All right. First of all, like you said, shout out to everybody in the chat. Those who are a fan of me or probably Dexter, and that is fine. If you're a fan of Dexter, I'm good with that. I will torture him later, and then that will take care of that. So thank everybody in the chat. Thank everybody who's listened on the podcast. Thank everybody who's watched us here, whether it's one episode, many episodes. You know, as I mentioned in the chat, you know, Chris and I joined in here with Ken and Muse, and we also did the Deathly 13, and we went through that. So it's good to see Ken do that. So shout out for Ken to being brave to go through that. And I guess maybe next year all three of us will put Muse through it. Maybe that sounds good. I think that's a plan.
Love that. That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
So something,
I'm kind of scared, but
I'm glad I was wearing my headband because, you know, I was sweating. I'm not going to lie. It's hard.
I hope you're into 1940s surreal horror Serbian movies because questions.
I'm going to have to brush up on that.
A light teaser for 2021 award show there. And again, thank you for everybody who's come on the show and joined us. And for all the listeners out there, you know, we as a group have worked hard to give you guys the best we can give. And when you go around and you look at maybe not the movies that we mentioned here today, but other people's list of the top movies of the year, you're going to find that we interviewed several of these people, several of these, you know, either actors, directors, producers from these movies. So we work very hard in order to do that and bring those interviews to you. So when you see some of those movies, if you're interested, go back and listen to our older episodes and interviews from some of those movies. Great insight. You know, don't worry about spoilers. Most of them don't spoil. You know, I can't promise you everything, but you know, we work hard to bring you those interviews. And you know, we've covered all kinds of movies from the top 10 list to movies that you don't know, and we hope you'll go and check out, because we want to support as many films as possible. And one other thing, shout out to all the short filmmakers out there. You know, I guess I could have mentioned some on here, but we love you too, and you guys do a fabulous job with your short films. There's so many good ones out there. Maybe next year we'll do a show dedicated where we put together something for short films, because it's a great thing. And it's hard to do interviews and so forth on the podcast but you guys do a great job out there. And a lot of these directors, actors, whatever, they did short films before they ended up where they are. So shout out to all you guys as well. Spread the horror. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And whatever else you celebrate. And please, 2021 be better than 2020.
And that Muse, Gory Laurie, what do you got?
All right. So yeah, just kind of to echo the guys, yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. We love interacting with you guys. It's always a lot of fun. It's makes it just a truly interactive experience for everybody. It's always a blast, and we appreciate all the support and love. We love you guys. And yeah, I mean, all the great guests that we've had, I've had so much fun, so many great interviews, so many fun trivia moments. We've laughed and we've cried, and I think we've done almost every emotion. We've run the gambit there. So there's been so many great moments. I wish we had kind of like a photo collage or some kind of video or something, but it's really been great. And 2020 has truly been better because of doing the show with you guys and interacting with everybody, all the listeners and all the interviews. So this year has been something else. It's been good, it's been bad, it's been a mixed bag of everything, I think, but it's been made better by doing the show with you guys and just interacting with everybody. And shout out to Crash Palace for the 350th episode.
Yep.
That's awesome. We give you many congratulations. We're ready for 350 more, so congratulations, you guys. Definitely a great show. Go and check out their podcast. It's excellent.
All right. Just to wrap it up and kind of piggyback off what Chris mentioned earlier, just a little teaser, a little hint, because there's a hint out there. Go to Harrison Smith's page. Go to his banner. If you know who Harrison Smith is, there's something out there. We're gonna have a big year next year, and I'm really excited. Just a little teaser there. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. I should get your guys' autographs now. Anyway, shout out to Killer Casey, who couldn't make it tonight. We love her to death. Also to the Strange Society Network with all the podcasts that we we share, and we love these guys and women and creators. Thank you so much. Also, Isaac Thorne, who does our opening on the podcast. Thank you so much. Very Merry Christmas to everybody. We will not be doing a show next week. Oh, sorry guys, I forgot to tell you, because of the holiday, and I don't think anybody wants to come on the show or whatever. So you will have a show the first week of January. We'll be back here on YouTube, so we will enjoy the holiday. We'll with friends and family. And I cannot thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. This idea I had to put the show together, and then I met Muse. Through that, I met Chris. Through this 3, we met HorrO, and then through us 4, we met Dexter. And Casey and I have been friends for a long time. But and then all of you guys, John and Alexis, Llama Face, Mike, Luna. Who else? All these great people here in the chat. Thank you so much. I can't wait to hang out with you guys again and chat with you online. Till next time, keep it scary, my friends.